Oh hi! Thanks for watching my video. Over the last few months I've been mixing up my content a little bit by playing through more storylines in some of the older games like The Sims 2, The Sims 3 and the older Sims console games. And sometimes it gets me down when I play The Sims 4 and I see how much the game has changed and how some of my favourite features from the older games are still missing from The Sims 4. But ultimately, I do like The Sims 4, and I still enjoy playing it, even though it'll probably never be the game I really want it to be. It's easy to list all of the previously loved features from the older games that aren't in The Sims 4. So easy, in fact, that I've already done videos about that, probably a couple times over. But like I said, even though The Sims 4 doesn't compare to the earlier games, there is still fun to be had and hours worth of gameplay to enjoy. So in the interest of being positive, I thought today we would touch on some of the features, big or small, that we have in The Sims 4 that aren't in any of the earlier games. I've always been quick to criticise The Sims 4, but there have been some gameplay features introduced that I would love to see in The Sims 5. So let's begin. Number 1. Travelling between worlds. The Sims 4 is the only game in the main franchise that allows Sims to travel freely from one world to another. 1 minute you can be in the snowy mountains of Mount Komorebi, and the next you could be strolling around the tropical beaches of Sulani. The earlier games do have other worlds, but Sims are pretty much stuck there, unless they go on vacation for a few days. The Sims 2 has the option to add vacation destinations with Bon Voyage, and it also added a few new towns to the world you're living in, like University and Downtown. Outside of that though, Sims can't just travel from Pleasant View to Strangetown. They're restricted to the world that they live in. In The Sims 3, Sims can move from world to world. For example, if you have Island Paradise, you can choose to move your Sims from Sunset Valley to Isla Paradisa anytime you want. There is a catch though. The Sims that you move end up losing any relationships they had with Sims from their original world. If a Sim moves to another world, it's best if it's permanent. Otherwise, all the relationships you build there will end up being lost. This is definitely a feature I hope we see again in The Sims 5. After having so much freedom to travel around in The Sims 4, I don't think I could get used to not having that again. Number 2. Create a Sim complicated families. The Sims 4 doesn't let you have complete free reign when it comes to assigning family relation in Create a Sim, but it does let you do more than the earlier games. The Sims 1 didn't have family trees, so there wasn't much competition there. The Sims 2 allowed you to create families that were immediately related to each other, i.e. parents, siblings and spouses. The Sims 2 also had the best genetic system and made Sims actually look like their parents. But we're not talking about that. Just a side jab that I wanted to throw in. The Sims 3 built on the Sims 2 system and maintained the immediate relationships, but it also added the ability to assign Sims as boyfriend, girlfriend, or fiancé, not just spouse as it was before. There were a few limitations though. For example, if you create one Sim with a child and then link them with another as a spouse, that child Sim will automatically be the child of the partner, meaning that step-parent relationships are not possible to assign in Create a Sim. The Sims 4 did the best job of allowing players to assign familial relationships in Create a Sim. Not only do you have the same options as before, but you can now assign Sims as step-parents, and your Sims' parents don't have to be romantically involved with each other. Let's hope this feature makes a return in The Sims 5, along with the ability to further customize family relation. For example, if I wanted to make a teenager called Sabrina who lives with just her 2 aunts, I don't want to have to make a parent for her as well. How about we extend the option to cousins as well? Number 3. Sentiments/Sim profiles. So if you consider this feature to be a memory system, then you probably wouldn't agree that this is something The Sims 4 did well. But if you look at it as a separate thing, you might be able to appreciate this feature. When it comes to memories, The Sims 4 is an absolute shit show. But I prefer to look at the Sim profiles and sentiments as an extension of a memory system that could have been great. It goes without saying that I hope memories get a major upgrade in the next game, but as a standalone feature, I really like The Sims profiles and sentiments. I think they're a great way to connect specific memories with certain Sims. Sim profiles are a great thing to use when storytelling, whether you're trying to figure out who cheated on who, which Sims are childhood best friends, or even if you just want to know whether the Sim you're talking to went to university. Might be one of my favourite Sims 4 gameplay features. Number 4, pretty short but sweet, the calendar. The Sims 2, 3 and 4 all have days of the week, and they all have seasons, if you spend enough money. But The Sims 4 is the only game that has a functional, editable calendar. Don't get me wrong, I don't think this feature is revolutionary or anything, but it is really handy and it's an easy way to plan out your Sims month. Plus, you can pull it up any time to see what the upcoming events are, like Christmas, Easter, Halloween, or even your Sim's birthday. There's not much else to say about it really, just a useful tool to have. Number 5, build mode. This might spark a bit of debate, mainly because The Sims 4 doesn't have the colour wheel or creator style from The Sims 3. However, The Sims 4 does have the most user-friendly build and buy. The Sims 4 makes it easier than ever to create almost exactly what you're looking for, from the free placement of windows and doors, to the curved walls, to the seemingly endless choice of buy objects. The ability to place already furnished rooms, and being able to click and drag walls easily just makes it so much more convenient. I would be surprised if there weren't some comments in this comment section trying to argue that The Sims 3 has a superior build mode. And whilst there are elements that I think The Sims 3 does better, like the colour wheel and creator style, I'm always going to prefer building things in The Sims 4. It's just a lot easier, especially if, like me, you're not the best at building. Number 6, sexuality. Sims have always been pansexual, that is, until The Sims 4 had an update that introduced sexual orientation. For the first time, you can choose which gender your Sims are attracted to and who they want to woohoo with, if anyone. Not only can you create actual LGBT Sims in terms of sexuality, you can also choose which gender your Sim identifies as and which pronouns they want to use. The Sims 4 hasn't been the best in terms of general representation, mainly with skin tones and hair colour, but when it comes to sexuality, The Sims 4 did it well. Number 7, collecting things. Every Sims game had some form of collectible items, but The Sims 4 just ran with it. Collecting things was hugely amped up this time around. I'm not even going to pretend to know how many collectible items there are in The Sims 4, because I find it kind of overwhelming. The Sims 4 has mostly the same collectibles on offer from the previous games, along with several new additions that came with add-on packs. To name just a few add-on collectibles from the more recent packs, you got Moonwood relics from Werewolves, Message in a Bottle with wedding stories, and the Village Fair ribbons with cottage living. So, there we go. Those are a few things I think The Sims 4 does better than the earlier games. This list was actually quite difficult to come up with. I'd write something down, and after a few seconds of pondering, I'd think, no, The Sims 2 did it better. But the main thing is, there are some things The Sims 4 did well. I still stand by my viewpoint of, The Sims 4 is a good game that's fun to play, as long as you forget the games that came before it. It is nice every now and again to look at the positives and appreciate the few things that they did better than their predecessors. I would love to know your opinion on this video. Do you agree with the features I've picked? Can you think of any more that I might have missed? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. But for now, that's it from me. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe, you know I love it when you do that. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.